Guys, introduced back in 1982, Kyosho came out with the first tracked RC car ever made, and it was called the Kyosho Blizzard Caterpillar Track. Now this is the 1995 version, when they updated it to go from twin brakes on a differential to twin motors and twin ESCs. Yes sir, these guys were absolutely all electric. Now this Blizzard DX Caterpillar tractor, this was made in 1995, and the updates included twin speed controllers, twin 380 can motors. They no longer use the brake, and this is kind of the half builder's kit. This thing's brand new, never been built, but it's got the clear body, it's got all the good. This one you're just going to add electronics and you are good to go. Now in 1998, Kyosho did the coolest thing ever. They introduced the Nitro Blizzard. Now this rig's name is Olaf. He enjoys warm hugs and doing really cool Nitro Blizzard thing. How exactly do you give warm hugs when you have sticks for arms there, Olaf? Now this thing is powered by a little GS11R Nitro engine. She's a 2-speed reverse. She still uses clutch brakes, but this thing is an absolute trip to play with. It ain't fast, it just does goofy nitro things, and I love it. And even though I'm in Florida, this thing will run on concrete, it'll run on asphalt, it'll run on dirt, it'll run on grass, it'll pretty much run on any surface. And if you've been on my Nitro channel long enough, you've seen Mr. Olaf giving warm hugs. This thing is a blast to play with. So in 42 years, there have been 11 individual part numbers with minor differences in these things in both Nitro and electric, but we're not here to talk about this thing today. In 2019, Kyosho reintroduced the Blizzard 2.0, and this brand new in box, this is what we are going to play with today. This side of the box is pretty pictures, but guess what? I do not read in Japanese, so let's flip this thing over. Ooh, now we could read in American. Okay, I kind of like that. But it's just basically showing one waterproof servo. It's got a stick controller, which is funny because I've got probably 700 RC cars, and I don't think a single one is on a double stick controller. Just showing the battery, showing it with the lid off of it, showing the optional parts, which is the you can get a silver sprocket, you can get different wheels, steel pinion, Caterpillar set, you can get a blade arm for the back, for the rear tiller. And I know you're thinking what I'm thinking. Neophos. I'm kind of wondering what's in the box too, because I never opened it. So as much as you guys are dying, I'm dying to know, what do you get from a 2019 release Kyosho Blizzard? Looks like she's taped up in the box pretty good, so not one to milk the clock. Let's start cutting this thing out of there. Alright, so I'm assuming our remote's going to be in here. Probably not a bad assumption at all. Oh wow, this reminds me a lot of the Walmart helicopters from about 10-15 years ago. But hey, it is what it is. Now I have not had this thing all that too long. Me and the wife ran up to Jacksonville on a Saturday and we picked up a Savage 5T, I think 4 MGTs and a T-Max, and we stopped at a local Jacksonville hobby shop. They were not Traxxas people, they were not Nitro people, but I picked up both those Nitro Blizzards. I'm sorry, both those electric Blizzards. Boy, she is a mite bit pretty, isn't she, guys? Checking her out. She's got her blade, which clearly on a servo. And the funny thing is, I needed tracks for my Nitro Blizzard from 1998, and these are the tracks I ordered, so the tracks have not changed, which are kind of funny. It's actually one piece, and they had 2 pieces, and you screw them together with these little tiny screws. So they're giving us a 2200 milliamp nickel metal hydride battery with a Dean's plug on it. So I think what we got to do before we do anything, let me go get this thing on the charger, because we are so going to play with this thing today. So before we get too deep into the rig, let's take a look at what they give us in the package. And if there's a bind plug right here, and if there is a cross wrench in here, this is going to be the best day ever. But let's see what they're giving us. Well, they're giving us a USB charger, and we're not going to use that. Bind plug's going to go live with his friends. We got our instructions, which we'll use those when we can't figure it out. So yeah, let's go get to what we want to play with. Let's see what's under let's see what's under the hood of it. Now, putting your body clip so close to these little rails doesn't seem like the most solid thing in the world, but we're going to try to work around them. It seems like those things are going to be pretty breaky. All right, so I'm assuming this thing should lift straight off. Yeah, lift straight up. So you're only held in by these two body pins. Yeah, there is no structure here whatsoever besides these pins to hold this body on. So yeah, we got two 380 can motors. Looks like it's got a single servo, and the servo is what is going to raise and lower your blade. Battery holder, battery connector. We got our battery switch. Let's pop this radio lid off, see what we got going on. Now, being Kyosho, these screws are most likely Japanese industrial, but you know what? I think my snap-on number 2 screwdriver should do the job. I just want to know what speed controller's in it to see if we could somehow, you know, make it faster. Because you guys know me. Nitro Pimp, only electric. We both like to go fast. And considering we're both the same guy, we'll go with it. All right, so it's using two little, they almost look like marine speed controllers. They're just, you know, shrink wrapped on their boards. Looks like we got one each, one going to each motor. We got a Perfex. It is a KR532, which is going to be a, what is that? That's a 5-channel, and we're only using 3 channels, which is going to be speed control, steering. Actually, we got one to each speed controller, channel 2 and channel 3, because channel 1 looks like it's going right to our blade servo. Now, the drive on this thing doesn't seem any different than any other Kyosho as far as Blizzards goes. You got output shafts that come out to a set of gears. Those gears go into chains. Those chains drive this front sprocket with the teeth on it, and that is what in turn drives your tracks. The only real difference between this and the Nitro is the Nitro actually uses a differential on the center of it, and it uses brakes on each side of the differential, and it's an open diff. It's either a 2 or 4 gear diff, so whichever one you apply brake to, it just applies power to the other side and it turns. All right, so I got the man hands in there, got the battery mounted in there, and boy, she is warm. Didn't realize I was hitting her with a 5 amp charge. But let's go get some of Bezos' best inside this thing and see how this thing actually works. It's kind of funny on this thing. It's actually showing it's got a trainer cable for it, like an airplane. But it is a stick controller, so they are kind of like airplanes. Let's, before we plug the battery, let's power it up. All right, so we got a battery voltage indicator. And what these things do, we'll figure it out later, but I do see we have trim switches on this thing. All right, so from there, let's see what this thing actually does, because I am completely unfamiliar with, I've never flown planes, I've never really played with a 2-stick transmitter, but radio on. We're gonna put this thing up on some cups because I have no idea what to expect. And again, guys, eat more Chinese. I actually have it every Tuesday, but we had leftovers, so I didn't get my Chinese this week, so I'm down 2 wonton cups. All right, so let's turn, ooh, okay. So let's see, let's try left stick first. All right, so that's turning left tracks. We've got reverse. So I'm assuming this is going to be right track. And it is. Yeah, so this thing is going to be kind of fun to ride. And let's see, this stick doesn't do anything. And all right, so this is going to raise and lower our blade. All right. So I'm going to have to play with the trim here, which I guess is going to be this, to kind of get these things a little bit more equal. Or maybe I just going to have to learn how to drive this thing. I don't know. Well, I know that the Olaf over there does not mind the concrete, but it looks like you got to be kind of careful picking it up because it's pretty flexible. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do. So if Olaf doesn't mind the concrete, let's bring that blade up. If you can remember how to do it. Oh, so the servo is not strong enough to hold the blade up, it doesn't look like, but well, that's fetchingly cool. Let's throw a body on this thing.